saying miracle, that's spit chill. Give you zero, no good, good. That's a board wipe, no refill. We absolute, that's overkill. That destiny, you adopted that. I'm a hero.
Yugi peoples, welcome to the discussion video. Alright, so a couple of announcements before we get started. Number one, like it looks like we're gonna have like at least two more regionals in the area, Lubbock and Fort Worth. So, I'll get a chance to go to those, still have the chance to get my invite. Of course, by then we'll have what is it, Pearly, whatever you want to call it, and Super Heavy Samurai. I never thought I would be saying a day when we get Super Heavy Samurai. But yeah, so apparently, I'm gonna have to prepare for those. Hopefully, I can find a way to get my invite, find a good build for my hero deck in order to be able to play it. So other thing is like coming up this week also, I'll be doing a vlog for Die Win. He used to sponsor me some months back and stuff. Real cool dude, but he opened up his own shop with his brother or cousin, one of them. Nah, I mean, so yeah, we'll be doing a vlog. They're gonna be having a case tourney coming up this Sunday, and yeah, we're gonna do that. And also on that video, we'll be doing a giveaway for a Piana Megamax playmat, featuring like all the pots, like pot of greed, pot of prosperity, pot of avarice, all those things and stuff. And it'll be one of those things where all you have to do is make sure that you're subscribed, like the video, comment something below, and yeah, you'll be entered in a chance to win that. So hopefully have some fun. It will be a case tournament. We'll play in that. We're gonna put together a nice little hero deck to hopefully try to make it at least to the semifinals with that deck. So yeah, but as y'all know, like at my locals and stuff, I've been trying like different things outside of Omni Hero. I tried the Hand Loop Hero. Yeah, it's just, it didn't feel as strong, as consistent as it did the first time I played it. I did make it into top 8 where I proceeded to immediately lose at that point. And yeah, it's just like so many of these decks can, just like one card combo you. It was just like it didn't take enough cards out of their hand. Taking the 2 cards out just wasn't enough. So yeah. But then after that, we also tried Nebula Neos, and like out of all the hero decks and stuff that I play, like it feels like, even though in order to make Nebula Neos work, I have to add in the what is it, the Grand Mole and the Black Panther in order to be able to search them and be able to play them. It kind of feels like that deck is like, I don't know, like when I play it, it feels like the combo and stuff is like pretty consistent. Like what I can do with it seems pretty consistent, but it has like the same issues that just like about any other hero deck would have, is we added in more bricks, so there's a higher chance of bricking. But at the same time, like the ceiling is just like a little bit better, I guess. I don't know. It's like you're able to do and play some different things and do some different things with it and stuff. So when it works, it works. It's just I think my chance to get into top cut was just bad. Game 3 going now, was it, I think it was game 2, it was only game 2, and yeah, just game 1, his inboard or whatever his deck does was just crazy. I wasn't too sure what it did, and I played like right into it. It was like a, what is it, Gotti, Fish Gotti deck or something, and I had no idea what his extra deck monsters do, and he synchro summoned, and yeah, it's just completely like decimated like whatever I was trying to do for the turn. And yeah, he also imperned my Stratos, so I kind of needed that. But yeah, we ended up, game 2, we were supposed to be going first, and I want to say I opened up like, I opened up like, how do you say, like 2 or 3 hand traps, and just like, however I opened up, like it was just completely unplayable, and that happens. It wasn't because I drew the bricks, it was mostly because I just drew too many hand traps, and the hand traps just weren't enough to completely just shut him down, because I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't too sure how his deck works in the first place. So yeah, that ended up being a thing. But I did get in a win. We played a mirror match, and even though like I talked pretty bad about Nebula Neos the last time I played it, like as I was thinking about the meta and the different cards from different decks that he can negate, I was just like, okay, well maybe the card isn't like too bad against like most of the decks, because like if you play against the Sprite deck, he is able to hit the gigantic because it doesn't happen on summon. If you play against Kashtira, he's able to hit, the Fenrir or the Unicorn, or you can even hit the Diabolos if you want to wait for that, because their effects don't happen on summon. So and I think those were like the two main decks that I was really concerned about. It's like hitting those. So in that aspect, the card is not too bad, and just like against the other decks, you can kind of pick and choose. And then also this time I did make sure to include instant contact. That way when I was going second, I would have a chance to get to my be able to get to my Shining Neos Wingman. So yeah, I think like the only thing that I didn't really like about playing a deck is that I felt like I couldn't include Dark Angel off inside of there, even though I probably could have. I ended up playing, I only wanted to play either Plasma or Dark Angel, and I ended up picking Plasma because, Plasma is a lot better going second either way. But yeah, so we didn't include Dark Angel in there, which I probably still could have anyway. And I felt like it maybe would have made it a little bit better. I don't know. Like, overall, any of these decks outside of Omni Heroes is a whole lot harder to use. I wanted to try to build a Shining Neos Flame Wingman deck, but the thing about that is like you need to be able to get the Flame Wingman into the graveyard, and you want to be able to search out the favorite contact. And with Spirit of Neos, you only get one effect per turn, so it's like you can't search instant contact and favorite contact. It's like you have to pick and choose and then hope that you drew the other one in order for the deck to work. And it's just like I'm already playing you know, with, crazy cards off in there, kind of hoping that I draw, like a playable hand and something that I can play with. Now I'm also hoping that I draw like one of two very specific cards, and then I'm gonna have to play multiple copies of those cards to, try to draw one of them, and then I end up drawing multiple copies of the card instead and breaking. So, yeah, it's just like unfortunate. Like these decks, Cosmos Neos, Nebula Neos, even Shining Neos Wingman, all those decks get a whole lot better when the new Flame Wingman retrain comes out. When that card comes out, it's going to I really think like change the way we're able to play heroes, give us a couple of more options. I would say like the only thing that's like kind of bad about it is, when I say evenly matched, evenly matched will still be a problem for us, because you can set up your inboard, you can have DPE Plasma or DPE with Dark Law, and then have your set favorite contact and get evenly matched, and now you have to pick and choose. And I think like most of the time, of course, you're gonna choose the favorite contact, but it's just like it just kind of sucks that you went from having a floodgate with two interruptions to just having like that one interruption and nothing else, because we don't have a negate or anything in order to stop the evenly match. But so unfortunately, it'll be one of those things where in order for the deck to be like, if the meta doesn't change and the evenly match doesn't go out, it's be like one of those things where you're gonna have to like mix a couple of other things off inside of there in order to really for heroes to continue to still be effective. So, but that's just my line of thinking. I'm always like thinking about the cards and things that people play. As far as like the other decks that we'll be playing against, Pearly, Super Heavy, Samurai, all those things, they really want their graveyard. So, Dark Law is going to be pretty effective against them. It's just, we'll go ahead and see how the meta is going to turn around and go. I think like one of the toughest things that we'll have to challenge, like I said, we solved the Nib problem. I don't think we have any problems with Nib anymore. But Droll is a whole nother story. It's like you gotta play, if you don't draw like something to be able to counter the Droll, then coming up into this next format, that's gonna have to be one of those cards that's constantly on your mind, because it hurts Pearlies. I can't ever say that because I don't even know what it's called, but it hurts Purries, and it hurts Super Heavy Samurai, and it's also going to hurt us. So, that's one of those things that you'll have to think about when you're playing your deck, and You know, it just is what it is. And you know, my 45 card hero deck, you know, like I said, I built it to be able to play around those things. Just the only thing about that is like I feel like when you go second, when you play like more than 40 cards and stuff, like it really, of course, like we know that like numerically it really decreases your chance of drawing like very specific hand traps or very specific cards to be able to counter what your opponent's doing when you're going second with this kind of deck. You know, going first, you know, as long as your deck is built pretty decently, you'll be able to win the games. But going second, I feel like becomes a little bit harder because those specific hand traps or specific cards that are really, really good going second into most of these decks, you decrease your odds of drawing them. So, you know, it is what it is, though. Maybe I can bring down the count a little bit to, you know, make it a little bit more effective, down to maybe like 42 cards or so. But, you know, we'll see what happens going into this next format. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. You know, I think that, you know, until the Flame Wingman, you know, comes out, I might, you know, experiment a little with the Nebula Neos deck. I really like the idea of having interruption in the form of a trap card, you know, and, you know, hopefully I can find a way to mix the Dark Angel off inside of there, and you know it'd be really effective that way. I wouldn't have to worry about evenly match or, you know, all these decks that are being mixed with runic, and you know it would be a whole lot better if I could, like, you know, pop the monster that comes out with like Shining Neos Wingman, which, you know, in a way we might still be able to find a way, you know, to make that deck work. It's just that once the Flame Wingman, you know, comes out, the new one, it'll be a whole lot easier to play. So yeah, if y'all have any crazy builds or, you know, something different that you're really trying with heroes, you know, y'all go ahead and hit me, let me know. You know, I might take a look at it, maybe, you know, revise it a little bit and, you know, try to play it. But, you know, other than that, I think I might try out playing the Nebula Neos deck for a little bit. I also kind of wanted to play like a pure elemental hero XYZ decks. You know, I played it before. I might actually end up trying to play that again. I think like the only problem with the last time when I played that deck was like finishing off my opponent. So I'm gonna really have to like dig deep and find a way to, like, you know, make sure that my opponent dies after their turn gets skipped because of, you know, my cards and stuff. But we'll find a way to make it work. And yeah, so that'll be it for this time. Appreciate everybody for staying a while to listen, and I will catch y'all on the next video.
Man, he come through, he level up, he go cool, he shining out and popping to over 9K. That's a breakthrough. We on top now. Here's a look at our world.